What's up? We back. Fucking back. Fucking back. Get my little setup and everything. We driving back. Had a good haul today. Met some nice people. Learned some new shit. Got a cowboy hat now. Or a frontiersman hat, I should say. Got my hands a little bit dirty. Learned some things. Thought about some things. Had some real realizations and some insights to life. All right, so let's get to it. How to fix and correct the market. What's up, Sean? How are you living, brother? I'm doing very well. I met some really good contacts. I met somebody who's a community engineer, and they basically said, brother, we're going to keep you on staff forever because there's nobody that does what you do. So please keep coming back. If you know how to do drywall, if you can hang stuff, if you can fix things for us, do some electrical work and lightings and shit like that, we'll keep you always fed. I said, nigga, say no less. Nigga, let's get this money. Beautiful day, beautiful day. I learned a lot about myself, acquired a lot of information. But anyway, we're gonna go in today about relationships because I've been having man. I'm out here in the streets. I'm really talking to people. See, a lot of people they talk from a place of theory. And theory is nice. Don't get me wrong. I love theory. I'm a scientist, nigga. I love to fucking make hypotheses and talk all this who, what, where, what might happen, blah, 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 what could happen. But, nigga, I like to go hit the ground. I like to go actually get there in the science and really go figure out what's going to happen within the community. What variables are really being played with. See, everybody says mind your business. I said, mind your business for what? Let me get into some business. I want to get in some business so I can figure out what's going on so I can make bigger business. Because business only works if you have other people around you. And the more people that know about you, and the deeper you can start connecting with people, the more money you're going to make, man. Relationships before the revenue. People feel comfortable paying people they trust. Remember that. That's your business one-on-one. If people like you and they trust you, they got no problem giving you money. They got no problem. They actually wish they could give you more. Because that trust is a very, very difficult thing to come across. Because most people are not trustworthy. Very few people are actually very trustworthy, to be honest with you. So anyway, it got me thinking about this trust thing. Because as I'm going in business, you have to rely a lot on trust. Like I gotta trust that my people who I'm working with are gonna pay me. I have to trust that they're gonna be there when they say they're gonna be there. They're gonna have what they need when I get there, and that they're not gonna be wasting my time, my resources. This is a very real thing. Because you can only take so many losses every day when people just wasting your time and not paying you and sniffing you. So one of the things you start to build is you try to build trust. You got to be able to read people and understand people. And for people to be able to understand and know you, you kind of have to give up a little bit. Until you build a reputation where you can be trustworthy, then you can say, okay, I need my money up front because blah, 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 blah. So it got me thinking about relationships. There's no trust in relationships. Modern relationships in today's age, zero trust. Zero belief in each other. And basically everybody is coming from a lack of scarcity. It's like everybody's working from a lack of fear, scarcity, and lack of trust. And that's a recipe for disaster when it comes to a relationship. You can't not have a relationship where you don't trust somebody. It just doesn't work. You're going to put yourself in a very compromising position because you're never going to give fully to yourself. You're always going to leave, Murphy's Law almost to some degree. Where if you don't trust your partner, or the woman or man, or whoever the hell you're dealing with, if you're gay, homosexual, alien, fucker, I don't know, it makes no difference to me. If you don't trust this person, you're basically opening up Murphy's Law for whatever can go wrong will go wrong. This is a very common thing within humanity. Trust is a necessity. Without the trust, there is no relationship. There is no nothing going on. You're not. There's nothing to build upon. So you're basically just two empty humans that are trying to figure out who's gonna fuck who's gonna make sure they get out on top. That's not how you build, man. We can't listen. Imagine if you're trying to build a house, and you and the other person are concerned with who does the most work every day. Like you guys are not concerned about is the house getting built, but you guys are concerned about, okay, who spent the most money, who's doing the most work, who's doing this, and you're just looking and checking and keeping most of your energy not on the building aspect, but trying to skip each other out to make sure that they put more equity into the house than you did, so then you get more of the benefit of the house. That's a terrible way to build a house. And that's how most people are building relationships. And you know why it starts off like that? Why there's no trust and no belief in most people in the relationship? Because think about how you start the relationship off. How you start your relationship off is the key indicator to how the relationship is going to end. If you come in with trust, belief in each other, and the willingness to invest and to grow in a long-term strategy, the end of your relationship is probably going to be a very beautiful end, where one of you guys died, but you have a lot that you left to him. You lived a beautiful life, and everything was beautiful up until the point that you fucking died. That's what's most likely to happen if you come into a relationship with the good intentions in mind, and you have an idea and a plan, and you properly execute and set it up in order to have that particular life. Now, the problem I see with today's age is most people are coming in trying to get something out of one another. So either the girl's trying to get some money, she's trying to get some resources, she's trying to get some information, she's trying to get something out of you to see, is this worth my trade-off? She's not even looking at you as a human. She's looking at what can I extract from you? What can I retake? What can I seduce and reduce from you? And most guys are looking like, well, how can I get sex without spending the least amount of time and least amount of money? That's how most guys are coming to the relationship game. That's a horrible, horrible, horrible way to go about the game. You're just asking for failure. Because really, think about that. Think about that. If you got, because it's the thing, we have mind reading. If you can actually read each other's minds, you will be disgusted and horrified by what each person is thinking when they come into a relationship most of these dates. And one of the big problem is, and this is like a side tangent note, the dating apps. Get off the goddamn dating apps, man. The dating apps are killing just social interactions with people. You should not be selecting your mate based upon some information you see on the screen in a picture. That is a recipe for failure at all times. And I'm surprised that most people are not being honest, that most social media fucking relationships, they're doomed from the start. You know why they're doomed? Just think about telling your grandkids about how you met. Or telling your parents. People ask you, well, how'd you guys meet? How'd you guys come? Oh, well, I swiped right and she swiped right. And I didn't really look at when I was swiping. I was just swiping. I got a match, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I finally got a match after the 300th swipe that I had." Because if we told the real reality of what you guys have been doing on these dating apps, it'd be mortifying. And see, most guys are not honest. Most people in just general are just not honest about relationships. And this is why we continue to have like this downfall of just fucking modern people's love life. And like there's no love anymore. There's very few love. But just imagine telling your kids, I met your mama because she just happened to swipe right because I made a fucking profile, which wasn't really me. I made me in my finest garbs, dressed up in all these different things, me in front of different hotels and all this other stuff, in front of cars I didn't own, flexing with my shirt off. And then I just kind of swiped right on a bunch of people. And eventually, she was the first person to swipe right on me. Because I honestly, I don't even check when I swipe. I just swipe. And then we decided to have sex on the first night after we got drunk. And from there, we kind of just hung out. And she was really pushing me to get married. And this is the average modern relationship and how most people end up married. Most of you guys started having sex with a girl. The sex was all right because you were on a dry spell. You didn't have anything else. And so you didn't want to lose your sex. So you started fucking compromising here and there, little spaces here and there. And eventually got to the point where you guys started living together. Because you're thinking, oh shit, I'm going to get more sex. And you didn't get more sex. If anything, the sex actually died down. But now you got a higher life of inflation because now you're getting fatter. You're out of shape. Your bills cost more. It's just easier. Now you got a roommate situation. Then you just decide to get married. Or you just accidentally got pregnant or whatever. That's the modern relationship. That's how most people are going about this game in relationships. Very few people are coming in the game like I'm thinking, like the way I'm thinking when I come into the game. I already want a wife. I understand my wife's role and her purpose and her duty is going to be when she comes to my life. I have a position for her to play in my life. So when I come to a girl And this is what I'm starting to realize, and this is how you're going to fix the modern relationship. Guys have told other guys, conceal your intentions. Don't let women know what your intentions are. Which I think is just a pussy way to go about the game. Because it's like, man, she knows, like, for the most part, every guy she meets, she assumes that you're trying to get sex from her. And one of the things I've been able to identify, just one of my interactions with women, is that they try to get me with sex. And when they realize I don't bite, they're like, what the fuck? What's my next? I don't have a next move. I'm stuck. And this goes back to the offensive mode. If you go back and read my playbook, and I hate to sound redundant on this matter, but it does warrant. It does warrant the redundancy. When you turn down sex from a woman that's openly trying to give you sex, or give you open, like, hey, take a shot, come get this, and you shoot that down and you come at her like a gentleman, it puts her on her back heels, because now she has to behave like a lady. She can no longer do the street, like a lot of guys are playing the street game. And when I say the street game is, you're just trying to hit it and quit it for the least amount of money possible. And see, that is just, it's a poor long-term strategy for being able to find a long-lasting partner. You're not going to get anything of substance by trying to get your rocks off for the little bit of price as possible. And most of you guys don't have the dick discipline anyway to resist over a long enough time span, because once you get it once, you want to do it again, then you become addicted and she becomes your drug dealer. And that's what's happening to most guys. Most guys, this is the case for them. She is pushing P on you. Young ladies are pushing P on you niggas, and you guys are just, you're selling out for all of it. And then what happens is she betafies you. She pacifies you. And this pacification comes in the form of, like, becoming the boyfriend or becoming the human dildo. The only two pathways I ever see really work out for a man. It's like you either go into like this friends with benefit type situation where like you stick and move and she comes over only when you want to have sex, and that's all you guys ever do. You guys don't even eat. You guys don't even kick it or hang out. She comes over, you poke, she gets hers off, you get hers off, and then she goes about her way. Or you end up trying to have a relationship after trying to fuck, which is even worse. You end up in a worse leverage position. Because then at that point, now you're just trying to fucking retain vagina. But you want to have a relationship, but you didn't want a relationship at the first part. At the first part, all you wanted was just the poo-tang. You got the poo-tang, and now you got lonely because like you like the company, you like the companionship. This really got starting to break guys down into like guys kind of come down. Guys who can get like vagina or guys who can get laid fairly easy. They kind of break down into two situations or two categories. They're either like a pussy fiend or a companion fiend. One of the two. Either they desperately want companionship and they see their girlfriend as a way of having companionship, of not being alone, somebody to have to talk to because they don't want to be alone with their thoughts, or they're extremely addicted to having sex, which is usually the guys who go into friends with benefits or to stick it. They run a rotation, and a rotation is one of the nastiest and dirty things you got going. You don't need no rotation unless it's like an actual real relationship that you're kind of rolling. But the rotation is poking and sticking. It gets kind of redundant and sad to some degree, because you got these three girls like bidding for you and fighting, and then at a certain point in time, you really can't even what's the word? You can't even occupy all their time, because then they start pushing for the relationship, and they start pushing you to do things, and then you got all these other things. And typically, if you're the type of guy who can have three women rotating at once, you're probably fairly busy as a man. You don't really have all that time to entertain them. So the small time you do have to entertain, it's just like they're basically coming over, they're escorts essentially that you got rotating. 3 escorts. God damn it, I missed my turn. Over here spitting gospel. And so what I've been able to identify is we have to change the game and start to put relationships on the table right up at the front. Put marriage. What I'm going to start experimenting with over my next like couple years now. My efforts to find a wife. One of the things I realized and identified is I take too long when I sense a good connection with a woman. or if I sense like, okay, there's a spark, like I feel the chemistry, there's something of like a sixth sense, like we get along, I don't act on it soon enough. I take a little bit of time to sit back and go back and think on it. And I think I probably missed out on like 2 or 3 opportunities of really good girls that actually really wanted me, but I kind of waited too long before attacking, and they get away. And I forget, there is a term, I forget what the term is, but there's this idea that like when you meet a woman and she puts herself in a position for you to be able to, I guess you would say, court her, you have to act on it with your true instincts. Trust your instincts, and then figure and work out the rest later. And so what that means is you have to have a premeditated plan. I think that's the only way that a woman's going to actually probably trust you in the idea of even going into like a relationship with you and you being the leader. Is that as soon as you spot her, you see her, you can sense her intention and her good nature that she wants to be within your life. Because anything else outside of that, women are supposed to get a rejection. They think you're trying to play them, that they won't bite on it. Like I have girls, like, here's the thing, once again, I'm not an ugly guy, at least for the most part, not that ugly of a dude, fairly in shape, well-mannered, well-spoken, fairly educated, running my own business, on the path of success. Like most girls that meet me, they can say, okay, this guy's not a fucking retard. Like he's actually somewhat of a successful man that I would like to be in his presence. And what I've identified is that as soon as I leave and I give them a chance to fucking go off and think about things, they get scared because they're like, well, why didn't you want me right now? And it really, once again, it's the tiredness of women. It's really the tiredness of women, and like their mindset, and the phones. The phones have really like fried the brain to the point where like they don't take any chances when it comes to like a real dog, because they really think that you might play them. At the end of all of it, they think you're not going to try to play them. And so what I've been able to identify is, what would happen if I just laid on the table right there? Hey, look, I want to get married now. Are you willing to walk down the aisle with me in 6 months? Are you willing to do this, and this? I'm serious. I already see your energy. I like it. Will you go for it? And I'm interested to see how women will respond. I think that's going to be my new play now from now on. Don't give women a chance to think. Let them see, will they accept the bargain, or will they going to run and flee? Because most of the time they ghost you. And what I realized as a man, if you're getting ghosted as a man, you're in a very good position. You're in a very, very good position, I believe. Because women only ghost men, like permanently ghost you. Especially if you're not on like some stalker type shit where you're just constantly like texting them. Like you hit them up, wait a couple of days or weeks, and then hit them back up again like, hey, what are you doing? I'm free, blah, blah, blah. You would like to go out, and she don't respond back. What that means is she takes you with the utmost seriousness, and she's terrified of disappointing you, and she just doesn't want to put herself in a position to be heartbroken. So she much rather just feel like she took a mini defeat by rejecting you softly. Because it's not like because really what's weird is they don't outright say no. So it's like they're trying to leave this avenue open so they can make a play on the back end to come back to you in case shit really gets bad. Because they don't want to just outright say, no, fuck you, I don't want to deal with you no more, you're a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. Because realistically, you're not a bad guy. It's like they know stalkers. They got guys they got to really deal with. They're fucking really trying to get to them. And so when you try to give her a chance to kind of just come to you and choose, they're like little scared animals. They don't know how to behave. They don't, like, they have to be shocked. Like, how can I put it? Like, feminine, like the feminist movement, it has fried a lot of women's brains in like their long-term ability to be like very ladylike and womanlike. And so in today's age, they almost have to be shocked into being feminine. And see, that's what I've been able to identify just as in my line of work, because I meet a lot of single women. I meet a lot of fucking women. And what I come to find out is they have a certain expectation of me because they think all guys are the same. They think all guys are dirty dogs that will try to just fuck you. And they look and say, oh, this guy's handsome. He's good looking. He has great reviews. Let me see if I can test him. And you'll come in there and they'll try to test you. And what I realize is every time that they try to test me, every time they attempt to test me, they get shocked Like, it's a fucking reality check. Like, what the fuck? This guy's not trying to fuck me. If anything, he's actually talking to me like a human being. He's looking at me in the face. He's making eye contact. I feel like there's a sexual tension and vibe, but he's not. It's not a creepy vibe. It's just a masculine energy that is over. It overflows upon me, and I just want to serve him. And see, that's what I'm starting to identify. That's when I'm picking up on the game. And so what I realize is when I have them in that feminine nature, when I have them in that fucking, that, what you call it, in that, like, oh my God, like, I'm starstruck. I met a fucking actual man for the first time. Like, my light, zoo, has been fucking flashed upon my eyes. That's when you get to act. It's like a fucking fighter. You only get a brief moment to catch her with a counter. To catch her with that shot that puts her to sleep. And that's the shot that puts her to sleep, is that fucking masculine, that initial masculine flash. It's like a flashbang grenade. And so what happens is, like, what guys have been realizing, what guys have been trying to teach the young cats and the young men in this game, is they're trying to teach the young guys how to prolong that masculine window, or how to keep that illusion of a masculine window so she keeps getting talked back to you so you can get that second meeting. But if you're a true masculine man in this day and age, brother, listen to me. You only get one chance when they meet you. And after that, they can't handle it because you fuck up their entire... They don't know how to handle it. They don't know if they want to feel that way again, because they know they'll break down crying to you if they meet you again. Like, if they meet you again in that same kind of sphere, or talk to you again in that type of like environment, she might have a mental breakdown and just start busting out crying. I've seen girls, man, young ladies, start just telling me things like I've been roofied. A lady I never knew, a girl I never met. First time she tells you she got roofied. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's crazy. And she's like, yeah, this guy's stalker, he's getting crazy. She was really telling me like she's concerned. And see, that's what masculinity does. Don't listen to all this nonsense you hear on the fucking interwebs. In the actual reality, in practicality, in the actual game of life, these chicks are begging for a man. They're desperate for it. And most of the time, they don't meet one. A lot of times, if you're a real masculine dude, you're out here really doing what you're supposed to do in the field, you're going to be the first masculine character they ever come across. Ever. They're going to be fucking starstruck. And I know it begs repeating. I'm sorry to keep repeating this, but it's such a fucking phenomenon that you can only experience if you're really putting in the work as a man. And it doesn't matter what age, from 20 years old to fucking 45 to 80 to 70. When a woman comes across a masculine man, she can't help herself. I have ladies that will touch my arms. They will come and fill up on me. They just want to get a piece of the action. Whatever little piece they can get. And they want to pay tribute, and they just want to serve. And guys don't understand. It's in their genetic code. They can't help it. But the key, if you want to be able to be successful in this particular market, whether it be for sex or whether it be for whatever it's called, for a relationship, lay out all your terms right out the fucking jump from when you first meet her. Don't give her a chance to fucking go back home and think about and powwow with her girlfriends and all that other shit, because they're gonna ghost you. I 100% promise you. That's why if you look at my shorts, I talk about getting ghosted, because nigga, I get ghosted 10,000 times a week. 10,000. I'm probably losing money from getting ghosted, because the ghost is like the ghost is their white flag for them to say, look, you're too powerful, man, and I'm gonna be heads over heels. I won't be able to get any shit done because I won't be able to let you go. I'm gonna end up stalking you. He's like, I'm doing you a favor, sir. Here, take this tribute. Take this large ass tip I'm gonna give you. Take this, whatever the hell I want to give you. Just take this, please, and just let me be at peace with my misery, because I can't accept no happiness. Because if you can give me happiness, you can take that shit away. And that's how the modern woman thinks. Because most of these guys have just destroyed the market by being untrustworthy and just lying and just being bitch ass emotional bags, not letting her be able to be in the feminine frame. And so women lose that feminine frame They all initially start off with a feminine frame, but they lose it with time because they gotta deal with bitch ass guys stealing their estrogen and then giving them all their little weak ass testosterone. So now these girls become more testosterone driven because all they're doing is getting all this weak ass test from a bunch of weak dudes. And they can't go back into their natural role. They don't even know what their natural role looks like. Because guys are refusing to do the proper work and the proper assignments and being just proper gentlemen, being proper citizens and caring for the community. And stop. They can't stop being fuckboys. Essentially, that's what it ends up coming down to. But anyway, I appreciate you for listening. Review, watch, subscribe, share. I'm gonna start dropping more relationship content. I think this is where life. I know. I think it makes very good content. Shout out to the cowboy hat, fucking fresh. The dreaded cowboy. I might have to change my name to that, but yeah, this is the dreaded cowboy. AKA Apex Sapien, AKA the Mace Philosopher, AKA Mr. Handyman, AKA Dr. Get Shit Done. Appreciate you guys for listening. Bye.